move that out of the way. There we go. Hi everyone. I need to clean up a bit in here, but it is what it is. So anyways, I'm back. I've been doing a lot of live streams lately because people have been liking these, so that's why I keep doing them. And actually, oh, did I do something proper here? I may not have, or maybe no, I did do that. Yeah, no, that's right. Never mind. I was just thinking of something and like, wait, did I do that? But no, it was related to the stream, but it's all good. Um, so anyways, I'm here. Um, and yeah, I want to go a little more in depth of stuff from earlier today and stuff that just need to figure out. Just really interesting stuff that way. And I just don't know how this is supposed to work. You know, um, because now, and I might just need to contact the builder of these and see what he suggests for this, because I've never been able to get the full sequential to work, and he claims that it's because of an issue with the speed controller. Well, okay, so the speed controller on that is not as it's not as good as it could be. So he told me it was a dial. Well, there's no dial there. It's just straight up a screw, to be honest. There's nothing that I've seen for a dial for it. And I tried to, put a screwdriver in there and turn it, and just it wouldn't go. So that's one of the things to get the full sequential to happen with the taillights, because I got it plugged in and it was all working now. So there's just a little test of that. So I need to figure something out with that, because I don't know. I really don't. It's very confusing. Of why is this the case? Why, like, why can't it turn? And now it might just be that it's just a little stuck and it just needs a little lubrication to turn. It's possible. And I'll look into that, to be honest. And we'll figure it out. Like, I'll figure it out eventually. I'll get my LED sequentials to work the way that they're supposed to sometime in the future. I just don't know when. But it's one of those things, because like something I could do, instead of having the sequential, I could have it as straight up just signal lights and have the full effect at the very least. So at least they're bright and you see them really good, right? Because right now what I have it as, there's incandescent bulbs on the passenger side and LEDs on the driver's side. That's what's going on there. So yeah, just something to figure out. But it is what it is. We'll figure this out. And like, honestly, I need to do a little bit of tinkering, because like once the car is because tomorrow, oddly enough, I'll have some time, because actually I don't have to pick up my dad from the airport till 10 o'clock, like 10 p.m., not a.m. So I will be able to do some tinkering on the car and get it to hopefully where it's just right. I'll just do some adjustments to the carburetor and see what I can do. Because just listen to the motor and go from there. But it's just one of those things. That's kind of cool. Just looking at stuff from a post here in a junkyard group, and there's this old Dodge tow truck that's just really neat. That is really cool. So yeah, they bought this. Now, I don't know, why is he talking about an EXP in there, because that's just dumb. Because there's no pictures of an EXP. Interesting. But I just hope you're all having a fantastic day. I mean, I've got no viewers at the moment, but that's okay. It's one of these things, and if it doesn't go, and I mean, I should probably move the camera to another spot, or because I have a cat in my lap. If I didn't have a cat in my lap, I'd have the laptop actually in front of me. Which I mean, I don't know if this will work. No, Saber is too much in the way. Oh wait, there we go. If I do that, there we go. That's a little better. And actually, I should just. There we go. Cleaned off the lens. That looks better now. So, yeah, because it was just not a little dirty lens, but you know, um, although like today's been a pretty good day. Looks like we did get a tiny bit of snow, but that's okay. It's one of these things. And now, so there's a swap meet coming up. I thought I texted it to Lance. Maybe I didn't. I just need to look. Yeah, on the 25th. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, it is the 25th. So there might be a swap meet video coming out. As long as I get there, I should get there, to be honest. Should be a good time. I always like getting to the swap meets whenever I can. And am I going to buy anything there? Probably not. I don't really have the money to do that. But we shall see. We shall see how it goes. Because just one of these things. And maybe I really don't know. That's interesting. But anyways, so yeah, there's some tinkering to do on the Mustang, to be honest. It's not too much. I just need to adjust the carburetor. I should be able to get that done, to be honest. Just richen the mixture just a little bit. And that should be okay, to get it so that, because right now, when I put the PCV on the car, and because the PCV, the reason why I'm using that as opposed to the breather with the tube on it, it's because the PCV has a check valve in it, while the Edelbrock with just the tube on it does not. So it's gonna run a little weird. Now, here's the one thing that if you do this on your engine and you do it to an intake source, and I might change this, I might actually run a hose. So I'll put it on the back of the valve cover, and I might run into the carburetor instead, like bottom of the carburetor, because it might actually work better that way, as opposed to going straight into intake manifold. Because honestly, what I would like to do is, instead of having, because I might swap these two around. So where the distributor goes into to get the advance, to be honest, I want to get rid of that source of vacuum for the advance and actually go to the intake. And the reason for that is because once you do that, you'll know for sure if your advance is working, because it's a little old hot rodder trick, and it will actually give you more power, to be honest. And it's one of those things that or not necessarily more power, but just better acceleration, because instead of, so right now my carburetor and everything, and with the vacuum advance that it has, the vacuum advance really doesn't kick in until higher RPMs, like typically right around 3,000 RPM or so. And it has to do with vacuum of the engine, right? That way. And so that's one of those things, because like when you hit the throttle, to be honest, and you reach an RPM, that's when your vacuum advance is going to kick in, right? And so when I'm just casually driving the car around, the vacuum advance is not kicking in, which it would actually be better if it was. And here's the reason why you might want to have, if you have a vacuum advance distributor, you might want to actually do what I'm going to do. And let me explain. So on when you have a vacuum advance and when you have that delay in it, to be honest, it will, even on a daily driver, you'd prefer to actually have that not have a delay. Really, it's pretty much as soon as you hit the throttle, you would actually get that vacuum advance kicking in, which is nice for a couple of reasons. Because A, you'll have better acceleration, but then B, you won't need quite as much throttle input to actually get up to speed either, which is honestly, that's one of the things that's going to save a little bit on fuel as well. So this is one of those things where you'll gain horsepower and you'll gain fuel economy doing this, as long as you can keep your foot out of it. That's the one thing you gotta, just under regular daily driving stuff, right? Because I don't drive that car at full tilt all the time. In fact, I rarely do. It's one of those things where I just drive the car typically fairly normal. It's not something that I don't drive that car super hard that often. I just really drive the car, you know. I will like shift it faster and that sort of thing, but I don't like, hey, time I get into the car. That's not what I do. At least I don't try to do that. And the quality of this is kind of bad. I can see why people are trying to, or the people that might not be tuning in. Or actually, it's cleared up a little bit, so that's cool. It's interesting though of how it looks. So on my screen right now, I mean, if I no, it's brighter here, but how you guys actually see it, it's a lot darker. That's curious. I wonder why that's the case, but because just looking at it through the phone, because I have the stream up on the phone right now, because I just want to check and do that. Live chat. So actually, no, I can get rid of that. Get rid of that. There we go. Okay. And you know what? I can get rid of all of that. To be honest, that's fine. I just realized I had a bunch of blocked words on my thing. Yeah, and that's fine. I can do that. There we go. So just try and like just adjusting some stuff for the stream. Oh no, I did not want to send feedback for that. No, I want the. Oh, is it missing? I can't see the thing. Okay, well, fine. Because yeah, there should be a thing to show me live numbers, but that's fine. So yeah, like what I'm currently, because like it's gonna be really cool what comes next with the car and content I bring to the channel and all that stuff. Because when his truck is, like when my buddy's truck down the street is good and ready to go, when he has everything all good, and then we get rid of the snow, which it's going to be at least another month for that, and likely closer to 2 months, to be honest. It's going to get warmer in April, but we'll still have snow. That's a guarantee. But I will be doing a video on his truck as soon as I can. And his truck is like an 80 or 81, something like that, C10. It is a nice truck, to be honest. Little rusty and a bit of a beater, but it's cool. What he's done to it, I do like for the most part. There's some stuff like I've driven it before. But this will be a full-on review of it, and hopefully, like when we go to the swap meet, because me and him are he's gonna likely hitch a ride with me to the swap meet, and we will see if we can find him some better tires than what he has, because his little 235 75, I think 15s just don't cut it for the amount of power he's putting out. Like 235s on my car would work just fine, but not on his. Like it's funny, I actually have wider tires for the summertime than he does, and I'm running an inline 6, and he runs built V8. So that's just one of those things. I might put the stipulation to Lance, actually, just like, okay, you pay for like food and my entry, and I'll take you because I really shouldn't be spending money right now. I can drive him because my car gets really good fuel economy. Like it'll cost me literally $20 in fuel to do that, if that even really. And that's the nice part about my car. It just gets really good fuel economy. And with this, I'm going to see about, like I said, doing the vacuum advance from the distributor instead of from the carburetor. I'm gonna change that to the distribution block that is in the intake itself, and see what it does. To be honest, I might just try and do that tomorrow, because yeah, I'll need to get more hose for that, but I can do it, and I'll just need to see where to plug into for that. That's hopefully the same size. Because right now, like even for the vacuum advance that it's currently getting, it's two different size hoses. So because the distributor has a different size than the carburetor does, and remember, it's not an original carb on the car, so it's just one of those things that just little things that literally cost me hardly any money to do this. It's just really hose, getting the right length hoses and stuff like that. And I'll see about even changing the PCV from where it is on the intake to putting it towards the carburetor instead. And so move the PCV to the back, put the other breather up front, and do it that way, which would work out. Honestly, it would work out quite well, I would think. Because it really shouldn't be too much of an issue. The only thing is, the only caveat, because yeah, I'd have to do regardless, I have to do a reducer from the 3/4 to a pretty small to put into that hole in the bottom of the carb. So we'll see, to be honest. Yeah, we'll see, to be honest. I don't really know. I'll figure it out. So yeah, and I can't wait to see how this thing is gonna go, how it's gonna be, just with that simple little change. And again, it's not much, just swapping hoses around. And that's one thing that you can do on these old cars. Just little tinkering like that can make a huge difference in your car. And it's stuff like this that I like to do. I like to tinker with my car. I've done some big stuff that's not tinkering, that's straight up swapping and modifying. And there's been a lot of modifications done to that car, which there's some people that don't understand what a pretty modded vehicle is. There are some people that think that you need to like build up the engine a lot for it to, be modded car, which is dumb, because really anything you do to your car that is not original equipment to that car, so if it's an upgrade or even paint related or anything like that, is still customizing. That's one of those things that your car is technically a custom if you do anything that was outside of the factory on your car. Because yeah, it's got the GT seats. It would have had a probably gray carpet, and it would have had a gray headliner in the car, more than likely. In fact, I'm like 99% sure of that. I'd have to get like a Marty report on the car to know for sure what all the options were in that car. And it's one of those things that I don't know on all this. And something that I want to do, I do want to pay for a Marty report just to see as well, how rare was that car from the factory? Because I have only heard of one other just like it. Because it's got a 1-year only interior color, which is pewter. And it has, honestly, the 200 inline 6 and being a notchback, right? And there were some other options on it, not much. Power steering, power brakes, everything else manual. No center console, so pretty base, other than just a couple of options. And the high back vinyl seats without a headrest, because they were an option, so kind of a rare option. I've seen that seat in a couple different cars, sometimes vinyl, sometimes not. I've seen it in fabric. There's actually a Mustang that Keith owns, that has that, which is cool. Honestly, I like that. But we shall. Excuse me. It's one of those things because like Keith has a bunch of Mustangs, and that's one thing. So honestly, once the snow is melted and everything, I do want to take a trip up there, and I want to help him get his 72 or 73 Mustang back on the road. It's my favorite car out of his entire collection. It has a 351 in it. It needs a drive shaft done, and it needs a couple of other little things and some detailing work, which I am willing to do. I can do some of that anyways. Like, I could technically do all of it other than cut down a drive shaft. I'm not doing that because you cut a drive shaft yourself, you're running and not balance it, you're running the risk of it, just grenading itself. Like you could, the drive shaft could snap in half. You could, rip the snout off of a transmission that way. You know, you could, you might actually be able to destroy the mount for where it mounts to the rear end. You could do that as well. It's a little rarer for that one, but the other two are far more likely because it goes to the weakest point, which is usually like the snout of the transmission is usually the weakest point. But it just depends. If it's actually strong, like if the drive shaft is strong but very poorly balanced, that's where you'll come across it ripping off the snout of the transmission. That's usually how that goes. So, yeah. But I hope you all are having a fantastic evening because I know I am. To be honest, it's been a decent day. I haven't really done too much. I've just been around and mostly home all day. I did take one trip out to Olds just to kind of check stuff out. And like one thing that I do want to talk about. So, guy I know, his name is Nils, and he actually had a problem with his truck got stolen from Didsbury. And there was this guy that from I think he was from BC, and he was on a spree of stealing a bunch of stuff from BC all the way to Alberta. And he got caught, luckily. It didn't take long. Nils' truck is very, very recognizable. So I'm glad he got it back. And actually, I saw him driving his truck today. So, I waved at him and I tried to stop it in his yard, but I guess he just didn't hear me. So that was fine. And I just left. Not a big deal. To be honest, he's a good guy. And like he has some really cool cars. I do love, like, my favorite car is a 73 Mustang Fastback. It's just a really neat car. And it's one of those things where, because I would love to, even though, okay, his is modified quite heavily, but I would love to do a video on his car and compare it to the notchback that Keith has, which I think Keith's is a 72, I think. But it has all Mach 1 dressing on it, which is cool. But it's a notchback, not a hat, or not a fastback. So it's like coupe body, not fastback body, right? Which is interesting. You don't really see them. You see more fastbacks, to be honest, around. And because, yeah, that would have been, it may have been a grande, to be honest. I'm not too sure. Because, yeah, it could have been a grande. It could have just been regular coupe. Or unless if their regular coupes were just called grandes. I'm not sure, to be honest. But still, it's a cool car, and I really do want to drive it. So we'll see. We'll see. Because that's the one thing. Like, Keith will let me drive any of his cars, to be honest. He's fine with me driving them. Yeah, there we go. So it was okay. So his truck was abandoned. Okay. Okay. I was just reading this really quick. So it's interesting, like this guy that went on this massive spree of stealing stuff. Like he stole my buddy's truck. He stole a Honda 5000 generator. Um, some geographically equipment stole. Wow. Stole electric. Sometimes my brain does not want to work with this, to be honest. Like sometimes trying to, say this stuff. So electric wire from Sparwood, stole pedal bikes from Didsbury, and stole more electric wire from the reserve. One of the reserves. Okay. Yes, stole some scanners for when you're doing inventory, from Calgary. Stole a 2017 GMC Sierra from Cranbrook, BC, and then stole my buddy's truck, which is a 2003 Ford F350 dually quad cab. Sorry, not quad box, quad cab, and it's a diesel, and it's quite, it's quite recognizable. As soon as you see the truck, you know the truck when you see it. And they stole a bunch of credit cards and personal identification, and total approximate value was $130,000. So I'm just glad he has his truck back though, because that was, he drives that truck all the time. I see him in it quite often, so it's just good to see that, because yeah, he's a good person and he does not deserve his stuff to be stolen. But yeah, I'm just checking something here. Because yeah, I do like, because I'm just trying to think. Like I've been doing actually quite a few of these live streams lately, to be honest, like quite a few. And if people want to chat, cool. If not, then no worries. Like I'm cool with that. Um, because yeah, like, and we'll see. We'll see how long I do this one for. To be honest, I am likely not going to be here for a long time, but we'll see. Because I've got some things to do tomorrow. Like not a ton, but some things I'll do definitely. Oh, that's sad. That's dumb. So I'm just looking at stuff going on in the world, but yeah, because I'm just trying to think, what else is there to talk about? Because that I haven't talked about, and that's the one thing about doing a lot of live streams. This is where you run into the issues of just honestly figuring out what to talk about, and this is the one thing where if I don't have interaction in the chat, it makes it difficult, right? Um, it just does. And I wish that, because like people haven't been getting um people have not been getting notifications for my live really. That's what I have heard. And I don't know why that is the case. It's really frustrating, to be honest, because I want to, put the stuff out to you, but I don't, you know, I just wish that it would do that. Now, actually, I am going to try and do this. let's just do this. YouTube right there. Create post. Live. Come out and have some fun. Yep. Just making a quick little post on my community tab on YouTube and seeing what it does. I mean, worst case scenario, I'll just end this. It's not a big deal. I just kind of did this just because I was just a little bored, and I was just, it's one of those things. The game that I usually play is updating right now, so gotta wait on that. If I was in Edmonton and at my buddy's place, I could hang out with him or just figure it out with even just like playing other stuff on the system, because I've only been really playing one game lately. So and of course Rascal is wanting to cuddle. You want to cuddle, but there's a kitty on my lap. You know that, right? You know that. I love you. I love you. I should let's change something here. I'm gonna change something with the stream, and maybe this will make a difference. Oh, and I keep losing a bunch of subscribers. Frick, I've lost about 7 in the past day, which is frustrating. Extremely frustrating. Cannot change that. There we go. So I can't edit that from there. Can I do it from here? Because I don't want to get off that screen, so that's why I don't. Nope, I don't even see it here. Oh, there's that. There we go. I can do it that way. Let's change the title. There, do that. There. See if that makes a difference. Probably not, to be honest. Ugh. I might just say screw it and end this. Because there's not much going on. There's nothing going on. And I would love, to chat with my fans and stuff like that, but just, well, that's sad. But yeah, I might just, I'm thinking I'm just gonna hop off here. Oh, it's cheap too. I'm gonna send that to my buddy. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna end it. So nobody's in chat. Nothing's going on. So, anyways, thank you.